All right. Well, it is 1:03. Let's go ahead and get this special meeting of the New Mexico State Workforce Development Board to order. Just a few notes, since so many of us are online today. Just as a reminder, if we can keep our video on, please do that. Also, when you speak, please state your name. That way it's easy to put that into the record. And I do realize when we have a lot of people using video, sometimes it makes the internet choppy for people. So I think it's probably okay as long as you're not speaking or voting to turn your camera off. But especially when we vote and speak, we need to turn that on if we can. Um, okay. Well, let's start off with let's do a roll call and establish that we do have a quorum.
Hi, everyone. This is Monica Perry, the State Board Admin. I will start the roll call now. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham. Senator Michael Padilla. Representative Doreen Gallegos. Chair Joshua Orozco.
Present.
Casey Durad. Dr. Rebecca Estrada.
Present.
Let's see here. Deborah Moore. Is she excused?
She is absent.
Absent. Okay. And then Carlos Romero.
I'm here.
Sorry, I'm getting a little
Okay,
messed up on my lines here. Thank
I'll
you,
make sure you heard me.
Carlos.
I'm here.
Thank you, Carlos. Mathis Shinnick. Absent. Luis Reyes.
Here.
Terry Stewart.
Here.
Thank you.
Yeah, Casey just got on.
Okay. Casey Durad.
Right here.
Present. Okay. Patricia Chavez.
Present.
Erica Genti. Present. Dr. Bill Wagner.
Present.
Beth Williams.
Present.
Thank you. Arlene Murillo. Arlene, I think you might have tried to say something, or someone did? No? Okay. Okay, Paul Espinosa.
Here.
Dr. Ezell is excused. Carla Kugler.
Present.
Kelly Ropke Orth is excused. Cabinet Secretary Sarita Nair.
Here.
And Arlene just joined.
Okay. Arlene Murillo.
Present, sorry, I was
Okay.
an attendee, not a panelist.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to make sure we don't miss you on the roll call. Dr. Amber Gallup.
Here, thank you.
Thank you. Director Greg Trapp.
Here.
Thank you. Commissioner Sanchez.
Present.
Commissioner Cerna. Deputy Secretary Scott Kuginski.
Here.
And Erica just joined.
Okay, I'm going to jump back. Erica Genti.
I'm here.
Thank you. Deputy Secretary Marcus Martinez is excused. Deputy Director Breezy Gutierrez.
Present.
Thank you. Patrick Gannon. And Acting Deputy Secretary Nikki Kozlowski.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we do have a quorum.
All right, thank you for that, Monica. Okay, moving on then. Changes to the agenda. Do we have any changes to the order or anything to be removed from today's agenda?
I do have a request. Can we move the summary of the public comment before the presentation? It will just make more sense so that DVR can give their response to that public comment when they do their summary.
Okay, so that is going to be item number which? Sorry.
It's in the summary.
Bottom.
The bottom area.
So
I
it's
didn't
on
quite catch.
item number 5.
Okay, and we're going to move that in front of what?
It's still item number 5. It's just changing the order of the presentations.
Item number 5 has multiple elements in it, and so they're just suggesting moving the
Summary to the front.
The summary to the beginning?
public, to before
Got it.
the Department of, or before the partner program updates.
Thank you for that. Okay, then is there a motion to approve the agenda with the changes from staff?
I make a motion.
I'll second.
Seconds.
Rebecca.
Thank you. Good reminder for us to state our names when we speak. Okay,
Yes,
it's
please,
been moved
'cause I didn't
and
catch that
seconded.
for the minutes. Who moved and who seconded, please? Patricia moved and who seconded?
Rebecca Estrada.
Rebecca? Okay, thank you.
All right, it's been moved and seconded. I think since so many of us are online, let's just do a roll call vote for everything. Let's go to a roll call vote, please.
Okay, Chair Orozco,
Yes.
you're first. Casey Durad,
Yes.
Dr. Rebecca Estrada,
Yes.
Carlos Romero,
Yes.
Luis Reyes,
Yes.
Terry Stewart,
Yes.
Patricia Chavez.
Yes.
Erica Genti,
Yes.
Dr. Wagner,
Yes.
Beth Williams,
Yes.
Arlene Murillo,
Yes.
Paul Espinosa,
Yes.
Carla Kugler,
Yes.
Secretary Nyer,
Yes.
Dr. Gallup,
Yes.
Director Trapp,
Yes.
Commissioner Sanchez,
Yes. Sorry, thought I hit unmute. Sorry about that.
thank you. Just a reminder, if you could please turn your camera on as well. Breezy Gutierrez,
Yes.
okay. Scott Groginski,
Yes.
and Nikki Kozlowski.
Yes.
Okay.
The updated agenda has been approved. Let's move on to the approval of our February 26th minutes. Has everyone had a chance to review those? And if so, is there a motion to approve?
All right, Paul Espinosa, make a motion to approve the minutes as read.
Thank you, Paul. Is there a second?
Casey Anglada Gerard, I will second.
Thank you, Casey. Are there any changes or updates to the minutes? All right, I'm not hearing or seeing any. So let's move on to a roll call vote to approve the minutes from February 26th.
Chair Orozco,
Yes.
Casey Durad,
Yes.
Dr. Estrada,
Yes.
Carlos Romero,
Yes.
Luis Reyes,
Yes.
Terry Stewart,
Yes.
Patricia Chavez,
Yes.
Erica Genti,
Yes.
Dr. Wagner,
Yes.
Beth Williams,
Yes.
Arlene Murillo,
Yes.
Paula Espinosa,
Yes.
Carla Kugler,
Yes.
Secretary Nayak,
Yes.
Dr. Gallup,
Yes.
Director Trapp,
Yes.
Commissioner Sanchez,
Yes.
Deputy Secretary Scott Brzezinski.
Yes.
Okay. Director Brizzy Gutierrez
Yes.
and Acting Deputy Secretary Nikki Kozlowski. I missed. If you said something, we did not hear you, Nikki.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, that's everyone.
All right. Thank you. The minutes are approved. And I'm getting flashbacks from COVID when we had to do all the votes via roll call. So I just wanted to say thank you for your patience, everybody. Okay, let's move on to item 5, the brief overview of proposed updates to New Mexico WIOA 2026 to 2027 State Plan Modification. And we are going to start off with the summary of public comments.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen, or should I just read it?
Sure.
Right?
Everybody, you emailed it?
I emailed it to everyone.
Let's just read it because then we can see if people have questions.
Okay. So it is a little bit lengthy, and I apologize in advance if I stumble. This is from Alex Dean from HCA. To whom it may concern, thank you for the opportunity to provide public comment on the proposed 2026-2027 WIOA combined state plan modification. I'm submitting the following comments related to the sections addressing measurable goals and priorities for NMDVR and supported employment programs, as well as progress updates on those goals. The comments below are my individual professional opinion and do not reflect a public comment from the entire agency or division for which I work. So, in referencing Section B, overcoming barriers to access VR and supported employment services, goal number 2, Alex said the draft states that New Mexico faces a significant challenge with a limited number of long-term service providers statewide. There is, in fact, an ample supply of long-term support providers and staff available through the developmental disabilities and MIVIA waivers to maintain established supported employment outcomes through ongoing service delivery. Additionally, in recognition of potential staff shortages in specific parts of the state, DDSD home and community-based services waivers expressly allow employment support services to be provided by a family member or guardian when staffing availability is identified during the individual planning process as a limiting factor. This information should be reflected accurately in the plan. And then she says, I applaud NMDVR's goal to enhance their provider shortages should they exist. Comment number 2, the draft plan states that DDSD waiver programs function as separate departments. These programs operate within the same bureau and do not function as independent departments. I respectfully request that this wording be revised for accuracy. Comment number 3, the goal states that the agency will continue supporting collaboration and education to expand access to providers. However, it is unclear which agency this refers to. As written, the language appears to assign a goal or responsibility to DDSD through the WIOA plan, which is not allowable. Please clarify or revise the wording. The next section, progress in achieving the goals and priorities for VR and supported employment. NMDVR goal, adult project search model for SE participants ages 21 through 30. Her comment is the exploration of new project search site for out-of-school youth is an exciting development with strong potential for positive impact and future replication. I appreciate the innovative direction and look forward to seeing this initiative. The next section is long-term supports, MIVIA program. Her comment says the draft states that the MIVIA waiver lacks long-term support vendors, and they do not use a vendor model for any service type. This is not limited to employment services. Participants select their long-term support staff either from agencies with an approved provider agreement or through self-direction where they hire individual staff. I respectfully request that the section be revised to avoid mischaracterization and list a website where they can reach them. So last section, funding the MOU between NMDVR and DDSD. Our comment states the current proposed Memorandum of Understanding, or MOU, between DDSD and NMDVR establishes clear and unwavering support across both agencies for the employment first movement, bringing competitive, integrated employment outcomes to New Mexicans with intellectual and developmental disabilities. I applaud the ongoing efforts from both NMDVR and DDSD to make this a strong and resilient interagency bond. The draft suggests that funds from NMDVR are being utilized to bolster DDSD waiver services, including supported employment. I appreciate the continued collaboration and commitment through jointly funded initiatives between DDSD and NMDVR for training, professional development, and outreach activities implemented by the University Center for Excellence in Developmental Disabilities, University of New Mexico Center on Development and Disability. These ongoing joint efforts bolster provider, vendor, and staff skills to enhance capacity for supporting employment outcomes for across both agencies. However, I would like to clarify that to my knowledge, no funds are distributed from NMDVR to DDSD for supported employment services. All supported employment services provided through DDSD programs have distinct funding apart from RSA grants. I ask that this statement be removed to ensure accuracy. And then thanks everyone for their attention and consideration on these. Okay. And that was the only public comment we received.
All right. Thank you for the summary of the public comment. Now let's move on to DWS updates. Or I'm sorry, are there any questions or comments regarding the public comment from the board? Okay, then let's move on to DWS updates.
Thank you, Chair and members of the State Board. This is Veronica Alonso. I am the WIOA Operations and Program Manager, and I will be providing the updates that were made by the programs that the department oversees here internally. So, starting with just in general, there is a PowerPoint that you all can follow. In general, we ensured that throughout the modification, there was references where we were able to align with America's Talent Strategy, the 5 pillars. The 1 pillar, industry-driven strategies. Pillar 2, worker mobility. Pillar 3, integrated systems. Pillar 4, accountability. And Pillar 5, flexibility and innovation. So as you have reviewed the modification, you will see where these references were tied throughout the modification. We also went through the document and updated the name change that we currently have. And so previously, the one-stop centers were known as Workforce Connection Center. And over a year ago, we launched our new logo, which is America's Job Center. So throughout the document, that was changed. Human Services Department also went through a name change so that we ensured that that new name change was Healthcare Authority, HCA. When we also changed our one-stop center, we also changed our case management system. It previously was Workforce Connection Online System, and now we refer to that as New Mexico Jobs. So all that has been changed throughout the modification. Moving on to section 1 of the plan. This is the executive summary, and you will notice that that was changed. We added language in there going from what we said we were going to do to what we're doing. So it's a transition from planning to implementation, along adding, strengthening alignment with America's Job Talent Strategy. We also updated the narrative to reflect current workforce conditions, such as expanding workforce participation through education, childcare, sector-based training, and improving coordination and modernizing services to build a more integrated, future-ready workforce system. Moving on to section 2, strategic elements. There are a few sections within that. The first one is economic and workforce analysis. This is where our ER&A department here puts in a lot of work and updates a lot of the information here, which is the labor market and economic analysis with the most recent data and projections. So you will see the changes of the incorporating the employer feedback, skills gap, hiring challenges, workforce shortages. Moving on to the next area, workforce development, education, and training activity analysis. We were strengthening the alignment with updates to the state's workforce development activities for each of the combined partner programs. So within that area, each of the programs are there and they have a very short summary of what they do. And we went in and updated those summaries. The strengths and weaknesses of the workforce development activities. This is really where we began the alignment with the America's Talent Strategy and the 5 pillars. The next area is the state strategic vision and goal and state strategy. Again, you will see where all of the alignment with the goals, cross-strategy goals, and alignment strategies all have references to the 5 pillars. We're providing provided implementation progress, sector-based approaches, and workforce system coordination. Moving on to section 3, which is the operational and planning elements. The first area is the state strategy implementation. This is where we're updating operating systems and service delivery approaches, including how we've increased the use of virtual services and how we've improved coordination across programs. We've also went in and updated all organizational charts for not only our department, but for our programs, but for all of the other partner programs. And we update the State Workforce Development Board roster in this area as well. The next area is state operating and systems and policies. There we updated all of the DWS state level policies and also ensured that all of our New Mexico administrative code references were updated and correct. Moving on to section 4, coordination with state plan programs. Throughout this section, there's language in there about strengthening coordination across core and partner programs, updating language to reflect integrated service delivery and cross-program collaboration. Moving on to, there was no changes to section 5, so moving on to section 6, core program requirements. This first area is regions and local workforce areas. we needed to provide an update and clarification on local workforce development area designation and board certification. So that was a big piece that was added in there. Statewide activities, again, it is in there 2 times. So it's in the one section of the mod and it's in there in another section of the mod. So it's the same thing, updating the policies and the INMAC in both areas. Moving on more to section 6, this is where it starts to break down each of the programs. So the first program is adult dislocated worker programs. Here we ensured that we updated service delivery strategies to align with current labor market needs. And we had this policy, the eligible training provider policy, was a policy that was approved by you all. And so we had to update that entire section with the new policy. Then we move on to the youth program. We updated language to align with youth program strategies with the current plan goals and priority sectors. We refined descriptions of work-based learning and career pathway activities and updated language to reflect coordination with education and training programs. The next section is waivers. We included a total of 9 waivers to increase flexibility and improve service delivery. The key areas of these waivers, we have waivers to further support individual participants with supportive services. This is our adult and dislocated worker participants. To increase the reimbursement for small businesses for OJTs up to 90%. To provide flexibility for our transitional jobs programs. To provide more flexibility for our incumbent worker training programs. For our out-of-school youth program expenditure requirement. And to allow for individual training accounts for all in-school youth. We also had 2 other waivers. Both of them are for governance over local workforce boards and service providers in certain circumstances. Moving on to Wagner-Pizer, Title III. They also have to put out a public comment for their agriculture outreach plan. So that public comment went out prior to this public comment, which is a requirement that they need to do. So there are changes to the current farm worker trends, increased reliance on H2A workers, regional agriculture workforce needs, refined outreach strategies for migrant and seasonal farm workers, including targeted and bilingual outreach, on-site engagement and partnerships. They updated language describing the employment services complaint system and coordination with enforcement agencies, and updated the use of agriculture recruitment system to support employers and workforce matching. Our next partner programs are the Trade Adjustment Assistance, known as TAA. There was language updated in there describing capacity and coordination within the workforce system to reflect current operations and partnerships. Our Jobs for Veterans State Grant Program, updated language to strengthen focus on servicing veterans with significant barriers to employment and priority populations. Refining descriptions of staff roles and service delivery, including coordination with the one-stop system. Update employer engagement and coordination strategies to reflect current operations in alignment with the broader workforce system. I'd also like to say that they also have their federal project officers review this before it's entered into the modification. And the last thing that we've added in our area of the modification is performance indicators for PY 26-27. Throughout the modification, there's updated performance for all core programs. Specifically for Title I and Title III, we're required to submit expected performance levels based on current economic conditions and program performance. This is what we are thinking that we can do. We submit this along with the modification. Once Department of Labor receives this, then they will reach out to us and they will coordinate with us to enter into what we call negotiated performance. So this is basically like our starting point. This is where we're going to say, this is where we think we can hit the mark, but then we can actually go into a negotiation. So these performance levels could either go up or go down depending on that negotiation process. And that is all from us at DWS.
All right. Are there any questions or comments from the board regarding DWS updates? Looks like Carla, you have your hand raised.
I do, and just more for clarification. And while I was trying to follow along as best as I could, when specifically kind of going back just like to the Wagner Pizer, and we mentioned about Veronica, you mentioned they had to submit, they had to go out for public comment and collect their own public comment. Who's they? Is that the Department of Labor? Is that the Wagner Pizer people? I guess I got a little confused about.
Yes. I'll help you.
The royal they are.
They is us here at Department of Workforce Solutions. So under Title III, that program is responsible for the agricultural program as well, the MSFW program. So they have a requirement, the MSFW program has a requirement to put out their section out for public comment as well. We could do it at the same time, but they were ready to put theirs out first. So they went out for their public comment for 30 days, and then we're incorporating their information into the plan.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate the
all us.
Yeah. It's all us, right? It's all us. It's a royal we, and it's the them. It's the them part of we. Okay, got it. Just want to make sure I'm following along.
Thanks for the question, Carla. Any other questions or comments from the board? All right, I'm not seeing any. And if there are any in the room, you probably will have to let me know, because I don't think I can see hands raised in there. But not hearing or seeing any, let's move on to partner program updates.
We have one question in the room, Josh.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, this is Greg Kapp. Just to comment on the Title IV vocational rehabilitation program and our performance measures. We have actually negotiated those with the U.S. Department of Education. They have a statistical adjustment model. They agreed with our proposed performance measures, which is really good. That shows that we're really zeroing in for vocational rehabilitation on the performance measures that the feds are wishing to see.
Excellent. That's here. Thank you for that. All right. Any others? Okay, then let's move on to partner program updates. And we're starting off with Dr. Gallup with HED.
Hi, all. Our changes, modifications were very minimal, some wording choices here and there, but we decided that the priorities outlined and our requirements outlined in the plan, we felt were still the case for us. So we continued most of that. Our biggest change, I just wanted to mention, was in our expected performance level indicators. Like Veronica just said, and Chairman Trapp, Director Trapp, our performance level indicators had to change as well. We used a statistical adjustment model to make those changes. But we stayed conservative, and so I just wanted to let the board know that the negotiations with OCTAE for adult education expected performance level indicators have not occurred yet. So we put in our best, outcomes. We stayed pretty conservative. Our performance on every one of our federal indicators has increased significantly in the last 2 years. But we, of course, want to stay conservative while still showing continuous program improvement. So our levels reflect that, but we may have to do, a change here after we've had our negotiations. That OCTAE just has not brought those forward yet. So, and that for us is about it.
Thank you. Any questions for Dr. Gallup? All right, I'm not hearing or seeing any. Then let's move on to Antoinette Holmes with DVR.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me this afternoon. I am here to speak about the modifications for vocational rehabilitation this cycle, which I also will be pretty brief. And then, let's see here. So most of our updates dealt with just providing our current status on various goals and projects. Our State Rehabilitation Council composition update is in the modifications, as well as SRC recommendations that they revised. DVR has accepted their recommendations and also provided updates to the standing recommendations that were on the first cycle of the state plan. For example, our updates regarding an internal governmental agreement with New Mexico TAP, which expanded the loan bank of AT across the state and provided additional training on AT statewide. The expansion of our business outreach team, which is now fully functional and providing active employer trainings and education on hiring individuals with disabilities. Our pre-employment and transition growth on many levels within DVR, while sustaining the relationships with all of our school districts statewide, and the efforts to revise the current memorandum of understanding with the New Mexico Public Education Department. In addition to completing the newly established service agreements with our job developers statewide to support high quality services to our consumers. Other updates included updates to our state goals, priorities, and strategies. These were obviously to provide progress updates on the established goals that were in the 4-year modification, or the 4-year plan already. We have several projects that have had movement, such as the purchase of transition virtual reality headsets for career exploration, updated rates of service for providers, training initiatives for employers, collaboration with PD and the Office of Special Education, and revised MOUs with our tribal VR agencies. We have provided updates on our performance and accountability measures as we performed in our last federal fiscal year. We've added language to section G of the 2-year cycle regarding order of selection. This language has been placed back in the document for the in-case chance that the agency had to consider an order of selection. Updates to our CSPD for staffing projections has been updated as well, and that is just based on our personnel staffing needs or vacancy rates. We also had provided updates to rehabilitation workforce in the reference to graduates from our local public institutions that provide rehabilitation counseling or related degrees, as well as that's part of the CSPD. We also provided at the time of this draft, the expected levels of performance for vocational rehabilitation. However, as Mr. Trapp has mentioned, RSA has accepted our expected levels, and those will be our performance indicators set into the 2-year cycle. And with
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments for Antoinette? All right, not hearing or seeing any. Let's move on to Director Trapp with Commission for the Blind.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. And New Mexico is one of the 22 states that has both a general vocational rehabilitation agency, which is DVR, and a blind vocational rehabilitation agency, which is the Commission. So we go through the same process as does DVR. We have our own State Rehabilitation Council. That council first began working on a state plan back in October. We had public meetings throughout the state on the state plan. Those public meetings informed our own goals and priorities, which we modified as a result. We really focused on the 5 pillars that are recommended. That includes artificial intelligence. So we looked at how our goals and priorities can align with the modern economy, the information age, the use of artificial intelligence, and we modified those accordingly. We did also look at our state plan to make sure that it was aligning with the directions that we have received with regard to diversity, equity, and inclusion. As I've mentioned before, we'll likely see some directions from the federal agencies, the federal oversight agencies, as our state plan is reviewed. We do have current memorandum of understanding. We are seeking to refresh our memorandum of understanding with the Department of Education. Otherwise, our agreements with Tribal VR are all current. And we do have a couple of highlights that I want to mention with respect to the Commission for the Blind. Our most recent consumer satisfaction survey showed an overall satisfaction rate of 91%, which is really pretty good. We also had an average starting wage of $27.99 an hour, which is also great. We saw our performance numbers go up in terms of the number of persons served last year. We served 360, an increase of 29. We helped 79 individuals actually become employed. So those are all reflected in our state plan. And Mr. Chairman, that's our Commission for Blind update. As I mentioned before, and of course, as Antoinette repeated, we have agreed upon our performance measures with the Department of Education.
Thank you, Greg, and thank you for pointing out those numbers. Any questions or comments from the board? All right, not hearing or seeing any. Let's move on to Diego Romero with TANF.
Good afternoon. Did you say TANF?
Yes.
Okay, I represent the Healthcare Authority for the SNAP Employment and Training, not the TANF.
Oh, okay. Apologies for that. Well, you can go ahead and speak to anything with HCA.
HCA Employment and Training. We didn't have, the only update that we do have is we are currently working with the State Workforce Board with the Educational Committee. We work closely with Veronica Alonso at this time, and what we're doing here is we usually our state plan for 2027 is due August 15th of 2026. So we start working on that state plan. We send that draft to Veronica, and she works with the State Workforce Board closely, and she actually we get onto an educational committee where the educational committee will offer us insight on how we can just feedback on our state plan and how we can go forward with helping our fellow New Mexicans. And that's currently the process that we have now. We will be working on that and send it to Veronica within the next 30 to 45 days. Our second thing that we do is we're currently working with the American Job Centers, where we do a co-enrollment, where our employment and training, our contractor, our provider is Equus Workforce Solutions. Anyone that's SNAP eligible works on goes through Equus Workforce Solutions for the Title I program, gets them job ready. If these individuals are job ready, we do work with a co-enrollment system with American Job Centers, where we can have these participants on SNAP. They can also join the American Job Centers to enroll in a Title III program, where they can work on apprenticeships, pre-apprenticeships, and get them to find meaningful and livable wage employment. So those are our biggest two updates for the employment and training. Thank you.
Thank you, Diego. Any questions or comments from the board? All right, not hearing or seeing any. Let's move on to Antoinette Vigil with, Aging and Long-Term Services Department.
She's not here.
Oh, okay.
She's not logged on.
So, does anybody want to give a quick summary, or do we want to just pass over that?
Yeah, we'll have to pass over that one.
Yeah.
From what I remember, it was some changes to their organizational chart, but I don't remember any other language changes. If there were minor.
All right, so there's some minor changes then. Okay, then that is a overview of all of the changes or modifications to the plan. Any final questions or comments from the board before we move on?
Mr. Chair, this is Sarita.
Yes, Secretary.
Make a few comments. Thank you. Well, first I want to thank everybody, all the theys and the we, I like that, Carla, and also all the partner programs. It is a lot of work because even if you don't make major changes, you have to read the whole thing, and our economists did a ton of work. So to all the folks in the room and in the department and in all of your departments, thank you. I also wanted to highlight and sort of take ownership of a decision that we made on this end, and you have some pages in your packet, but we got clear instruction from the Department of Labor that there were these words, as Director Trapp mentioned, diversity, equity, inclusion, that would automatically kick out our plan. And so Monica did the task of sort of finding those. And my proposed changes to those are here in this document, which you should have gotten. Most of them were like not even, so for example, inclusion on the ETPL. That didn't mean like DEI inclusion, it just meant including, so I changed it to listing. However, there were a couple of mentions of equity, and there was one under CSEP that was a little bit longer, where I did paraphrase it. I mean, I think all of you know me well enough to know how I feel about that, but I also don't want our plan to get kicked out, and I don't want us to lose our WIOA money. So I just did want to highlight, make sure everybody saw that, because that was a change that was made subsequent to the posting, and happy to answer any questions and hear comments about it. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Secretary. And Veronica, did you have a report on the recommended changes? Or is that just what we're seeing here?
Yes. That's one piece of the recommended changes. Monica, if you'll scroll up to the very top. So an additional recommended change that came from the governor's office is that change right, that very first one. DWS has submitted its required WIOA plan modification for PY 26-27. DWS understands the term unallowable activities referenced in the section 4.A of the January 26-26 Training and Employment Guidance Letter number 7-25 to refer to violations of the U.S. Constitution, the various statutes listed on page 5 through 6 of the Training and Employment Guidance Letter 7-25, and other clearly established and applicable federal law and agency confirms that the state's use of federal funds complies with such laws. So this language will be added into the executive summary.
And we'll change agency to DWS. Thank you, and Mr. Chair, if I might add, it was actually the Attorney General's office that requested that we add this language, and we've been adding what they call reservation of rights language to a number of our reporting requirements, because we are, as a state, are engaged in several lawsuits where we question the validity of some of the things that, on the other hand, we are promising to follow. And so this is our, this is the lawyer's way of saying we're going to follow all the things that turn out to be legal in the end.
Understood.
Yep. And then we have one more change, and Monica's going to pull that up, and that is to one of our waivers. So here you'll see the red line of some language that we would like to change. Again, this was after the public comment period. So some language there that's being removed, but also some language that we're putting in as well.
And this is just giving us the flexibility to serve, to have the Title III Wagner-Peiser provider, who happens to be us at the moment, but could change in the future. So that's why it's sort of general. That's why we added the word currently, to serve in these roles if there's a program that's in trouble, that's struggling. It's sort of it's a less severe consequence than doing things that we're already allowed to do under WIOA, like taking over the whole board or dissolving the region. We wanted to have some things that were not as severe as that. in our tool belt for regions that are struggling. And so that's why we did this one, and we did get input from all of the 4 regions. And I see Dr. Gallup has her hand up there.
This is just a point of clarification. I had a comment regarding the loss of the DEI language, and I didn't know if that was appropriate now or during the board discussion phase, Chairman Orozco.
I assume we can talk about it now.
Okay, great. I just wanted to very briefly and respectfully voice my disagreement with the changes that were made in the adult education portions of the modified state plan. I do fully understand the reasons the changes were made, and we have discussed this at various board meetings and subcommittee meetings. So I want to just state that I do understand it. And I also appreciate the way the changes were made in terms of the word choices that were used in place of diversity, equity, inclusion, so that the paragraphs continue to read in a similar, with the similar meaning that they had before. However, I do want the minutes to reflect that Title II believes that equity and inclusion are at the core of our work, and to remove them makes the plan less powerful. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Patricia Chavez. I also want to reflect, it's really just so disheartening what the agencies are having to do. And it's, again, personally, I understand it. I'm just disheartened about what we as a community, the diverse and inclusive community that we are in New Mexico, are having to do to adjust our funding, our state of employment with DWS, and across the board. I just have to say, I'm sorry. I am not in accordance with this kind of language that's coming from on top. But especially as a state that has always been so diverse and so inclusive, that we're mandated to do something against our will, but that's all. It's just disheartening to me personally.
Carlos Romero.
Yeah, thank you. Add me to the list of people that understand and will go along with it, but strongly object. And I want that on the record. Because it's not just this, it's all if you're looking at any federal grant, they're making you they're requiring you to do things in probably ways that are more impactful to us when you look at SAMHSA and mental health and some of the adolescent health programs. And so just that they're doing it, what they're doing, the way they're doing it. I wish there was a stronger stand we could make.
Commissioner Sanchez?
I also wanted to register my opposition to the change in language. I agree with my fellow board members with it's very disheartening that this is what we have to do to maintain funding from the federal government. I understand it as well, but knowing the district that I represent in my county, it's just not reflective of what we have, what the state of New Mexico stands. And so I appreciate all the efforts to try to make us compliant with the demands of the federal government. Appreciate some of the disclaimer language that's been added as well, trying to keep the spirit of the department and the state. But again, also want to join my board members in registering my opposition to the changes.
Thank you.
There's one in the chat.
And it looks like Rebecca Estrada.
Yeah, I figured everybody was saying it, but I wanted to just echo the sentiments of my board colleagues as well in support.
Looks like Erica Ginty, same thing.
Yes, I definitely echo that as well.
And
Dr. Wagner, I would like to echo that.
Thank you, Dr. Wagner.
Okay,
Any other?
Director Trapp has a comment as well.
And Mr. Chairman, I absolutely echo what everyone has said. It is completely heartbreaking what's taking place here. It is even more concerning what we're seeing with respect to what's called the System Award Management, or SAM. That's a federal document or federal process whereby recipients of grant funding are potentially debarred, and there are recommendations there that go beyond the language that we've removed here today. That's being litigated, I think, by 22 state attorney generals, and it's, I think, very, very smart to include the reservation language in there because this is being litigated. I just want to express again it is very, very heartbreaking to see this because it does go to the core of what we do and who we are and how we provide service.
Thank you for your comments, Greg.
Mr. Chair, if I can just close out this part of the agenda here, I thank you all for sharing that, and I, obviously agree and understand and glad that everybody went on the record so that in the future, when hopefully we look back at this chapter, we understand that this was something we had to do, not something we wanted to do. And also just to reaffirm that the intent behind the changes were that maybe the words changed, but the song remains the same, right? We still have the same goals. We still have the same priorities. If we have to talk about them differently, it is a price to pay, but it is something that we're willing to do in order to keep doing the good work that everyone here is doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary. All right, if there are no more comments or questions, we'll move on to the next section, which is public comment on the proposed changes to the New Mexico WIOA 2026-2027 State Plan Modification. Did we have anybody request public comment?
We don't have anybody that signed up for a public comment.
All right. Then seeing and hearing no additional public comment, let's move on to our next section, which is board discussion. Any other comments from the board? All right. I think I would just echo what everybody else has said. First off, I would like to thank everybody who is involved in this. That's a lot of reading. And it's one thing to read something because you're trying to get knowledge. It's another to read something because you're trying to edit it and update it, which usually means you have to read it over and over. So I wanted to thank everybody for all the hard work they put into this. I know it's really taken a lot of work to get here, both from DWS, but all of our partners. So I really wanted to express our appreciation for all the time you put into that. And I would echo what a lot of others have already said. It's very unfortunate that we have to make some of these changes, but I think you hit it on the head, Secretary. The words change, but the sentiment is still there. And I think we can keep doing what we intend to do and what we know is right for our community. And we do it because we have to, not because we want to. All right. Any other final comments, questions from the board on the modifications? Okay, then let's move on to the next item, which is our action item. Approval of the New Mexico WIOA 2026-2027 State Plan Modification for submission to the U.S. Department of Labor. Is there a motion to approve?
Chairman, I'd like to move approval. Commissioner Sanchez.
Thank you, Commissioner Sanchez. Is there a second?
Dr. Rebecca Estrada, I'll second.
Dr. Rebecca Estrada with the second. All right. Any discussion on the motion? Yes, Dr.
Mr. Chairman, I would recommend that we amend the motion to authorize the executive committee to make any technical, typographical, or minor changes that might be necessary prior to its submission.
That's a very wise amendment. Commissioner Sanchez and Dr. Rebecca Estrada, are you fine with that amendment?
Yes.
Just adjusting your motion?
I would as well. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Then we'll include that into the original motion. Any other discussion or comments on this item? All right, not hearing or seeing any, let's go to the roll call vote.
So Chair Orozco,
Yes.
okay. Casey Durad,
Yes.
okay. Dr. Estrada,
Yes.
Carlos Romero,
Yes.
Luis Reyes,
Yes.
Terry Stewart,
Yes.
Patricia Chavez,
Yes.
Erica Genti,
Yes.
Dr. Wagner,
Yes.
Beth Williams,
Yes.
Arlene Murillo,
Yes.
Paul Espinosa,
Yes.
Carla Kugler,
Yes.
Secretary Nair,
Yes.
Dr. Gallup,
Yes.
Director Trapp,
Yes.
Commissioner Sanchez,
Yes.
Deputy Secretary Griginski,
Yes.
Deputy Director Gutierrez,
Yes.
and then Acting Deputy Secretary Kozlowski.
Oh, she said she had to jump off for an interview.
Okay. That's everyone then.
All right.
And just to clarify, we do still have a quorum without Nikki on there.
Thank you for the clarification. With that, then the motion is approved. Thank you, everybody. All right, moving on to the next item, which is our announcements. Any announcements from staff or the board? Yes, Secretary.
Mr. Chair, I just want to remind everybody, so we end on a happier note. Our workforce conference coming up May 4th and 5th in Santa Fe. We have combined forces with Innovate and Educate. So you'll see it called the Close It Summit, and it's also our New Mexico Workforce Conference. It's going to be really good. We're anticipating about 600 people, a lot of people coming nationwide. I know our colleagues from Colorado, Virginia, they're all coming in. They're excited. So we're going to send this administration out with a bang and a really fun conference. So if you haven't registered, please do. If you register under our link, which maybe I think we've sent out, but maybe we can send out again, it's free. And so we'd love to see you there, and it'll be good, and there'll be a little bit of a focus on reentry because that's what Innovate and Educate does, but it will have the full range of workforce programming that you're used to. So thank you.
Thank you for that reminder. And without that link, what would the conference normally cost?
About $400 and almost $500.
All right. So for those of us, that's a pretty big savings. So if you can attend, I've looked over the speakers and the agenda, and it kind of blew my mind. So very much looking forward to the conference and looking forward to seeing everybody there. Any other announcements, comments, questions, concerns?
Chairman?
Yes.
This is Paul Espinosa. Yes, just a clarification, a reminder, FYI, that this month is Hiring Heroes job fairs going throughout the state of New Mexico. We had two already who started in Las Cruces, and the other one yesterday in Farmington. There's another one coming up in Los Alamos, and I think it's on the 22nd of April. It's going to be Roswell, and on the 26th of April, it's going to finish up here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, at the American Legion Post 13. Hiring Heroes job fair, open to the veterans and the community, and a lot of resources also out there to help support the community and the veterans.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul. Anybody else?
Is there a chance to get a copy of the agenda ahead of time for the state conference?
Yes, we just have not, it's not fully finalized yet. We should hopefully have it done sometime next week. So as soon as it's done, we'll send it out.
Appreciate it. This is Patricia Chavez.
Yeah, this is
Thank you.
Rebecca.
And
The close it portion is posted, the innovate educate portion. So I think I can find that and put it in the chat really quickly. Otherwise, I don't know, Veronica or folks on the staff, if you want to send that link out to the whole group.
It is posted on the Close It. Unfortunately, that is not the final agenda. We're
Okay.
still making some tweaks to that.
Oh, okay, got it.
all right. Well, yeah, we'll make sure that gets sent out along with the link for everybody to register. All right. Any final comments, questions? Okay, not hearing or seeing any. We are at the end of our agenda. If there are losing my words. If there are no objections, then we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Look
guys.
forward
Bye.
to
Have a
seeing
good
you in Santa Fe.
Everybody.